Yes, this is WION World of Cricket. I'm Digvijay Singhdeo. Game 2 of the ICC Cricket World Cup has just got over. Pakistan, the 1992 world champions, have beaten the Netherlands. Probably wasn't as convincing a win as they would have liked. To break down that match, to look at what went right for them, what didn't, I'm joined by Dav Whatmore. I usually introduce him as the 1996 World Cup winning coach, but he's also been a coach of Pakistan. So first question to you, did they get out of jail?
Not really, because this is a game they really, would have won anyway. But yeah, there was a couple of areas that's of concern, I would have thought. But this was as prescribed.
Okay, you think they would have expected to win this, but at the end, numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 had to get 100 runs for Pakistan. If those runs had not come, they would have been in serious trouble. And against bigger teams, those runs won't come.
That's right. That's the area where I reckon they've got some concerns to deal with. But yeah, look, you get 280 runs, whether the top half gets it or the bottom half gets it, you get 280 runs. But seriously, I think, against better opposition, that's where you're going to have to stand up and improve a little bit with your top order.
Okay. Can I say, for Netherlands, beaten but not disgraced? When you looked at this fixture, you could have thought, oh, this could get ugly, but they're a decent side. They're a decent side of the making. Now we know why they are where they are in terms of the non-test playing nations. They're perhaps right up there.
Do you think a little bit like New Zealand? A little bit. They fight hard. They don't give up. Yeah. And today they gave a good fight, But
when you play a World Cup match like this and you're playing the big guns, let's face it, Pakistan are the big guns, that's what you want to see as a coach, right? You want to see a fight. Yeah. You know ultimately it's not going, perhaps you're not going to win it, but you want to see that fight.
You want to see that fight because you want to know when you get out there you're not going to give up. Oh, we're playing against the big boys. You have to fight for it, and I think they showed, except for a couple maybe, gave up, but the rest, no, they put in.
Even at the end, I love the fact that the number 11's actually going on and didn't like a few bouncers at him. He actually went and had a word with the Pakistan bowlers as well.
Nobody likes it. No tail-ender likes it short. That's, with a lot of pace, and that's what they were getting.
Okay, let's look at the scorecard. Let's look at the scorecard of this game, and from then we'll look at it. So Pakistan asked to bat first. 286. The concern, perhaps, what you're wondering is you shouldn't get bowled out against Netherlands, whatever you score. Take it deep, which they did. In reply, Netherlands bowled out in 41 overs, 205. I think it's huge credit to them that they even got past 200 and got that target down to less than, 81, 82. Yeah. You thought it could be a 100-run defeat at one point.
Surely, but without Baz de Leader, he batted beautifully, really, and backed up. He should have been man of the match with his 4 wickets and those runs.
What do they say? The winners.
Yeah, but that's not
fair.
True.
I think you're right, because again, he's an associate player, and he's got, as you said, 67, and he's got 4. Was on a hat trick.
Yeah. His influence on the game is a lot more than that. Sure, Shakil batted very well. But this guy had more influence on the game. Okay, he's on the losing side, but gee, I think you got to reward the effort that he put in, So there was a good effort by Baz de Leader, Vikramjit Singh, another youngster who's coming up. He can improve a little bit, technically all right, and contributions right through,
You were saying, that you're looking out for Vikramjit Singh.
I did, yeah.
Yes. He got 52. At one stage, he had slowed down a bit. But he was sort of the glue which held them together when they lost Max O'Dowd. And those two are sort of key players for them.
Yeah, the one thing, though, with that is that he doesn't throw his wicket away. That's the other thing. Okay, he may be a little bit slow in achieving that. And he'll learn to rotate the strike more often, and to be able to increase his range of areas to rotate strike. But he's very strong outside the off stump, where generally you're going to get more deliveries aimed at you. And very, very happy for him.
He looked a strong boy as well.
Oh, he's a big lad, yeah.
Big lad. Reminded me a bit of Chris Gale.
Yeah, a little bit. And in the field, he dived around a little bit, and I thought maybe once or twice he could have actually put his hand on it, but it went through. Never mind.
Let's look at this column here. Netherlands 205 all out. The question I asked you in the morning as well, Pakistan's bowler side redemption. Okay, this is Netherlands, but you think this bowling unit goes back home happy? They go back to the hotels in Hyderabad and are happy?
Serviceable, yeah. I think...
After the hammering they got in the previous games?
Well, there was different attack as well in the previous games. Now that the real stuff starts, and they responded to a great degree. Okay, you would have preferred more runs on the board if you're playing a better opposition. So let's assume that they do get more runs on the board. Yeah, I think that's a decent quartet there.
Okay, Haris Rauf, 3 for 43 he ends up with, but have some serious pace. Oof. And that's what he was saying, right, when we spoke about the likes of Andrik Nokia and Kagiso Rabada. He said when that ball comes at searing pace, as a batter, it does sort of, somewhere at the back of your mind, you're wondering, oh, how fast can this go? There was one ball which clocked 149.4.
Yes, I know, and you may be able to middle a couple of those, and Baz Delita did do that. And one also from Logan later on, but you've really got to be on your guard when you're facing that speed, because A, you don't want to get out, and secondly, more importantly, you don't want to get hurt. So it's never pleasant. No one likes it, but if you're really efficient at it, then you got some pace to work with.
The thing with having a pad here is I can hide something. It's magic. You see? It's magic. You want to take us through something?
Yeah, well, I'll just...
Let's show our viewers why was Haris Rauf so deadly, and going into a World Cup, there are plenty of quicks around. What's the lesson they're going to pick up? Because this wicket, again, wasn't the easiest to bat on.
No, it wasn't. But I'm not a fast bowler, but I do know that in order to achieve maximum speed, you've got to get your hand directly behind the line of the ball. Whether you're bowling cross-seam, when the wicket's a little bit abrasive, so you can have that ball behave a little differently, or you go along with the seam to hopefully try and get a little bit of movement as it hits the pitch, or if you're lucky, swing it. But it's got to be directly in line. Once you start moving your wrist fractionally, you're going to take a bit of pace off. It may assist your swing this way or that way, but for pure speed, you've got to be right behind the ball to give it, maximum chance of getting your maximum speed.
Okay. Not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. At one stage, were you wondering why aren't Pakistan closing this out earlier? Remember the first game of the last World Cup? If I remember correctly, 104 all out against West Indies. The Windies got there in 14 overs. Ultimately, Pakistan missed out on the semi-finals by net run rate. Guess who went through? New Zealand.
Yeah. Well, look, they tried to do it, didn't they? They brought back the pace bowlers. They even brought back the leg spinner in the hope that the mishit will go up in the air, but it didn't work. So it wasn't a case of let's just drift along. I got the feeling that they were actually looking to get that last couple of wickets in order to have a greater net run rate.
Okay, you're the Pakistan former coach. What are the positives they take away from this game?
I think...
we forgot, Saud Shakil. We need to speak about Saud Shakil. Well, I'll get back to that.
Yeah, his first game, right? Yeah. So he's obviously...
I think played 5, 6, 7 one-day internationals. A lot of people questioning why is he in this team, why is Salman Agha not in the team. He answered that.
Well, you can see why. He's a very talented left-hand batter and got the courage to hit over the top as well. I thought his decision-making was pretty good. Just the odd incorrect decision, but generally speaking, he
learned.
He looked good. He's up to that standard. Now his challenge now will be to get consistency and continue to believe in himself and string a few scores along against better opposition.
Okay, let's talk about the better opposition. Pakistan's next fixtures are Sri Lanka, India, Afghanistan, South Africa, Bangladesh. There's Australia in somewhere as well. New Zealand and England at the end. You would think that against Sri Lanka, India and then Afghanistan, they need 2 wins at least. They need 2 wins out there.
Yeah, of course.
Next 3 games.
Yeah, and I think they're quite capable, provided they improve their effort with the bat. You know, they don't have to go quick. This could happen again, next game. They lose the toss and they're playing on an abrasive surface, and they'll start off with a spin. If two lefties are batting a game, they're going to start off with off spinners.
Okay.
You've got to be ready for it. You have to be ready in the eventuality of that happening. How are you going to handle it? You know, so...
Were they a bit surprised by seeing the spinner up top? Because some numbers just didn't make sense. You know, their run rate in the first 10 overs was 4.30, and you don't want to be 38 for 3 because your top order is generally the one which gets the runs. The big talk for Pakistan always was, what happens if you get the top 3 gone? How does the team respond? They've answered that very well. Again, against a workman-like Netherlands.
That's right.
But a team like, say, and India, a team like Australia, a team like South Africa, they'll constantly be at you.
40 runs in the first 10 is okay.
Not for 3.
Not for 3 wickets. Maybe for 1's okay. Because then the longer, you know, you bat, the more custom you get, you know, and the more loose deliveries you will receive. So, you know, you cannot keep losing wickets like that. Diggy, it's not on.
What was it down to? I'm going to get up some Fakhar Zaman numbers. You know, at the start of the year, the first 5 months of the year, his numbers were incredible.
Yeah.
But then I've actually noted it down. His last 100 was 180 against Zimbabwe on the 29th of April. Since then, his scores are 19, 14, 33, 2, 30, 27, 14, 20, 27, 4 and 12. What does that tell you?
Well, I just feel, well, he's not
getting
doing...
a bit of starts. He's getting some starts.
Yeah, but he's not... He hasn't gone on. He's not doing
Scratchy.
so well. He'd be looking over his shoulder now to see what the team list is going to be for the next game. But now, with all that talking, it's complacency. You asked originally that question about what's happening. Well, against good teams, you can receive good deliveries. Against a team like Netherlands, you think, oh, what is this? You know, they shouldn't be bowling that good. I'm better than them. You know, I'm going to... And then before you know it, you know, you're taking risks, you're playing bad shots, and you're 3 wickets down. So I think it's complacency. It's not that they can't negotiate. They've batted on spinning wickets in their home country. They've batted on spinning wickets in Sri Lanka, India. I think it's complacency, you know. How dare this guy come and spin it, you know.
Strong words from you.
Yeah.
We also saw the importance of Mohammad Rizwan. You've actually picked him as a game changer.
Yeah.
And he's sort of, again, that word I'm getting in. You have your versions of 3 C's, I have my insurance policy. He's Pakistan's insurance policy, and he showed why.
He's busy, isn't he?
Busy cricketer, and also sort of plays the situation. Doesn't get too carried away.
That's right. He makes correct decisions. He sums up the situation. He's no slouch in the 20-over game either. So he can accelerate. And he can be a little smarter and play, as you said, to the conditions. And he stitched up a really nice partnership of, 120, wasn't it?
120 of 114 balls. That took the game away at one point of time.
Yeah.
You sort of saw the Netherlands bowlers sort of shoulders drooping. But again, Pakistan being Pakistan lost that momentum.
Well, that's right. You know, when I look at each 10-over phases, 10-over blocks in that game, you would prefer at least one 10-over block where there's no wickets. And that happened in the second, and 1 wicket fell right at the end of the third one.
I'm going to bring that up, just because you're mentioning it, it's going to come up on our screens. We're looking at Pakistan's innings progression. As you said, 0 to 10, 43 for 3.
Yeah.
11 to 20, 58 runs they scored.
Yeah.
That's when they were sort of trying to get things going.
Consolidate.
Then this is where they started 69. To up the ante, 69, but that wicket of Saud Shakil over there.
Yeah.
Then 31 to 40 was when, I think, Rizwan fell.
Yep.
And then at the end, sort of, it was a procession.
Yeah, 2 lots of threes, not great, but it was in between that was a really good effort to get back in the game with that 120 partnership.
And is that perhaps why they chose him as the player of the match, perhaps because they were struggling, and it was basically most of them were his runs, and the way he got them.
I think man of the match for Pakistan.
Yeah.
For me, man of the match is Baz Dalida, no question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Pakistan also, when you look at this, 143 dot balls, 33 fours, 3 sixes. those many amount of dot balls, or do you think when you've gone 43 for 3, you have no option?
Well, that's right. There will be a number of those on the score sheet, on the stats sheet rather, until you get your rhythm going again. And then we saw, I don't think there were too many maiden overs.
Yeah.
You know, but there were a lot of dot balls.
But when you look at 143 dot balls, it means they've, in the remainder of what, 157 balls, they've scored 286.
Yeah. So there you are. The scoring shots are there. It's just a matter now of, that's another stat, reducing dot balls, meaning you turn over the strike. You take your singles. You always rotate as much as you can. So, that means you're pumped up, you're busy, you're not slackening off. You're always looking, for runs. Why is it in the last 10 overs or the last 5 overs everything's intense? Why can't we add a little bit of that intensity earlier?
But
some do.
The problem's here, right?
Yeah.
I think Babar Azam as well, let's cut him some slack. He is their best batter. But you are expecting your 2 openers, at least one of them, to play with Babar and sort of keep going. Because that's their template.
Yeah, and it was a bit tough.
Do you dismiss it as a one-off or as you said, complacency? I think the signs have been there for a while.
Maybe.
Isn't the Asia Cup?
It's a good reason to give them a little kick up the backside, and then put your arm around and say, come on, you can do better.
How long were you Pakistan coach?
2 years.
How many people did you kick on the backside?
But I tell you, a couple of times, but I tell you, I thought I was going to get sacked 3 times for no fault of my own. These review meetings, God, it's horrible.
We had one, controversial one just after the Asia Cup.
That's right. It was the head selector never turned up.
Yep, interesting. Okay, ask no more with Whatmore. This is for many of you, the favourite part of this live stream. You have an opportunity to ask questions or give your suggestions, share your suggestions with a World Cup winning coach, someone who's also played Test cricket. And
what do we got?
Hunain from Pakistan says, Netherlands really gave us a run for it, but congratulations, Pakistan. Our boys pulled it together. Let's keep up the winning momentum.
Yeah, there was a small phase of Netherlands making them work for it. Small phase.
Yeah. That first 10, and then even when Netherlands were batting, there was that phase when Delida and Wickham put together.
Right. Apart from that, they were in control, weren't they?
Yeah. Okay, let's take the next one. I need to get there. Yeah. Shari says, love that aggression by Haris Rauf. He needs to keep the same aggression when he bowls against Virat Kohli. That's a good point. We're looking at Virat Kohli versus Shaheen Shah Afridi, but actually it's Afridi versus Rohit Sharma. But this is an interesting battle because no batter, when he walks into the crease, wants to face somebody bowling 150.
Exactly, that's right. And when we have matchups, I give one name against the other, but really it's more than one name because bowlers bowl from 2 bowlers bowl at the same at either end. So Haris Rauf would definitely be coupled with Shaheen Shah Afridi when you're looking at the Indian top order.
Hassan Ali came in because Naseem Shah was unfortunately ruled out, and I've kept saying I love that boy. He's been kept out of one-day cricket for a while because his economy rate was about 6.9. But his opening spell was 5 overs, 1 for 20. Is he going? Are we seeing that the trio reconvene?
Maybe, but he's got a bit to prove, hasn't he? And I've got my chance now. Let me show you. I'm going to really try hard to do that. And he's got a good variation too, isn't he? The slower balls is pretty decent. So Hassan Ali, I think, will probably grow into this tournament.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of questions on the bowlers and comments. Junaid says, I think Saud Shakil and Hassan Ali's performance today are big positives for Pakistan. Shaheen Shah is down on his face. Don't know if he's 100% fit.
Shaheen Shah?
Yeah.
He looks all right, didn't he? He was pumped up in that second spell. Yeah.
Okay.
A little bit wavered in the first.
The heat. But one has to sort of... He's a world-class bowler, and they've got a bit of hammering, though he did sort of bowl pretty okay in the warm-ups. Azmat says, the good thing is, the problem with the middle order is solved because of Saud Shakil. But opening's still a concern for us. The fielding was good, bowling was far better. Fielding, couple of dollies dropped. You can't do that.
No, you don't. You cannot drop catches.
Especially that drive which went straight to first slip right at the end.
Oh yeah, that was
straight into his hand.
Yeah.
It wasn't here, wasn't there.
Yeah, look, if you're in the slip, you got to have a percentage of well over 90, 95 more that you take. The odd one, the difficult one, fair enough. But if you're a slipsman, you've got to have a very high percentage of converting those nicks into catches. Yeah, simple as that.
Ashan Zafar from Pakistan says, lots of Pakistani fans watching this. We hopefully you could come here, watch these games, cheer your team. And let's be fair, it was a small crowd in Hyderabad, but a lot of support for Pakistan. I think sport unites us. Let's be fair.
Oh, surely, yeah. And it's a great sport. Everyone loves the game.
Yep. Ashan Zafar says from Pakistan, the excellent start to the World Cup. Haris Rauf's speedy bowling is worth watching. Good luck, boys in green. Why is it... we remember the great Wasim, but if you ask fans of my generation, sort of talk about bowlers, the thought which comes to my mind is Shoaib Akhtar running into bowl. There's something about bowlers coming in and bowling...
Speed, right?
Bloody fast.
Well, it's a spectacular thing because the effect that it has on certain batsmen when they're receiving it, either evading it and looking really scared or just making a hash of trying to play it, or playing beautifully against a really good delivery and then whacking it for four. There's nothing better than and exciting as that.
Who's the fastest you faced?
Tomo, I'd say.
Jeff Thompson?
Yeah, and a couple of those West Indian guys as well. Holding, he was pretty sharp. Andy Roberts, he had
Michael
three
Holding
different...
was poetry in motion, wasn't he?
Well, I was at the non-striker end. You can't... Well,
that's the best place to play him.
Yeah, but you can't hear him run in.
Yeah.
Normally you can hear bowlers chunk, chunk, chunk as they walk. This guy is just like tippy-toeing.
It's got what? Whispering death.
Yeah, all of a sudden, whoosh, it comes, real quick. But Tomo was something else, because you lose it. You came from behind his back. Normally you follow the ball with your eyes as you're watching, so you get your rhythm going. But Tomo, very difficult.
But perhaps that tells us how difficult it was to face Malinga.
Yeah, well, that's another thing too.
Came from here, right?
Yeah, you have to transfer your line of vision totally differently for him. It'll take a little bit of time to get used to it.
But the difference between Thompson and Malinga was that Thompson was genuinely 155 plus. Oof. And he was fast. And those Australian pitches.
And bounce, because he came right up over the top. His back foot was past side on. And that made it absolutely, enabled him to come right over the top.
Okay, we've got... Bhatt says, I don't have a name before that, Pakistan players do have aggression, but they don't know when to use it. Interesting point.
Well, yeah, that's perhaps got some merit to that.
But where do you use aggression? Well, I thought they had the game pretty much in control.
Yeah, sure, but I look at Baz Daleed when he hit that boundary off Haris Rauf, right? I think the ball before, he was in trouble with a short one. But when he hit it for four, there was no hint of aggression. His aggression came out with a wink and a smile. Perfect. That was a really good... What you don't want to do with aggression is break your concentration. Some who are really good at it, Virat Kohli is very good at it. He thrives on that sort of stuff. But you have some players who think, no, I'm going to match you with verbals. And that's fine if it doesn't break your concentration. Sadly, it happens to a number of boys who are not used to that, and they get out. The concentration's broken.
It takes me back to a conversation I had with Jeff Thompson. This was 2018. And I asked him that at that point of time, you'd had the issue in South Africa and this entire concept of sledging and bowlers sort of coming up and intimidating the batters. And I asked him, if you're a fast bowler, do you really need to come and stare down the batter who you've just beaten? He says, no. He says, I find this a whole lot of rubbish simply because my aggression is the ball in my hand. And I can make that batter at the other end really hop. That's my aggression. Yeah. I don't need to talk. I don't understand why people talk so much.
That's Tomo, right?
That's Tomo.
Yeah, Tomo. You know, there was a lot of swear words coming out of his mouth, but not necessarily at you, at me. Well, I know I played against him.
Yeah.
There was a lot of words I can't tell you now, but it was more or less at himself for not getting wickets. But the West Indians.
You never sledged?
Never. No, not to my knowledge. Not that I played against them a lot, but I played against them a couple of times. Not much. I just
That stare.
Oh.
That was enough, right? The great Viv Richards once told me a story. He said, either you sledge me, I would hit you, I would hit back harder. And I think the only time Viv lost his cool was, I think, when Wasim Akram tried to bounce him, and then he went chasing him into the dressing room, and Imran Khan had to come in and save him. This is an interesting point which has come here. This is Aftab. Thank you, Aftab. Credit goes to Hassan, Shaheen, Haris for bowling brilliantly. The spinners also did their job. But more importantly, the captaincy of Babar Azam today, it was spot on. He was aggressive. He didn't let Netherlands take this game away. I've been harping a lot about Babar Azam. And is he the right fit for captain? Really impressive?
Well, today he was okay because there's not a lot of pressure. The real test will come when you're under a little bit of pressure, to ensure that you make the right decision, your bowling changes are correct. It wasn't too difficult today. And I still maintain you need the support of your senior players.
Okay, we have a couple of polls going. Let's get them to you. Who was Pakistan's best player against the Netherlands? Our options are Haris Rauf, Shadab Khan, Saud Shakil, Mohammad Rizwan.
Oh, it's between Shakil and Rizwan, to me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the
our
poll
fans have gone 35% Haris Rauf, 35% Saud Shakil, 23% to Rizwan.
Well, they're there and thereabouts.
Sort of dominates
there and
attention.
thereabouts, yeah.
Okay. Should Pakistan persist with Fakhar Zaman as opener?
Gee, you almost think he's had enough chances, don't you? If there's somebody who can do better, if they feel somebody can do better, then go for it.
You've got Abdullah Shafiq sitting there. Yeah.
I think maybe if you're going to do it, you want to do it fairly early too. You don't want to keep going with it, another 2 games and then make the change.
There must win games coming up for them.
Yeah, I think.
This game against Pakistan.
May be right. It may be right.
Would you play him against the game coming up against India? Would you play him against India considering the form he's in?
Yeah, and also 2 left-handers, right? So when you have 2 left-handers, it just opens up for the right arm spinner to come on and bowl. So I think a right and left ideally would have been better.
It's 52-48. 52% of our fans think that he should play.
Okay.
Will the Netherlands? I really like this one. Will the Netherlands win a match at this World Cup? What do you think?
Will they
win a match at this World Cup?
If they continue with their effort, I think they can win a game. Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
You can ask.
Bangladesh? Afghanistan?
I reckon the Afghanis, yeah. Yeah, if they
they're inconsistent. If these guys are consistent,
if they strike an opposition on a wicket that suits them, that doesn't spin as much, I think they've got a chance.
Okay. It's 55% of you out there think yes. Okay, let's look at the next one. Remember, this is No More with Whatmore. Can Pakistan's bowling deliver a World Cup title?
Oh, yeah.
Tough. I think they can.
I suppose so, but it takes more than bowlers to win a World Cup, doesn't it? It's limited over. Sure, the bowling is very important to restrict, but you get more runs. You don't have to bowl a team out to win a game.
Just restrict them.
More runs.
Okay.
Yeah, runs win the games.
13% think yes. 87% of our viewers don't agree that this bowling can sort of win them a World Cup. Though I'll be honest with you, Fakhar Zaman didn't have the greatest of games. Shadab Khan had a good one. He's under pressure.
Yeah, it was a welcome back to a little bit of form. Yeah, surely. And
what did he get? He got 32 of 34. But at that stage, they were struggling.
That was batting.
Yeah. And with the ball, they didn't bowl him. No, he bowled him. 8 overs, 1 for 45.
Yeah.
He got tonked at the end, but did the job that was asked of him.
5.5 and over, yeah. Yeah, small ground, slogging at the end, but he got the ball to turn, and his googly also was turning. Yeah, no, I think that's give him a little bit of confidence on his way back.
As a former Pakistan coach, do you think Pakistan going to win this ODI World Cup? I have the answer.
I'd love to say yes to that, but I don't think so.
90% of our fans think they're not going to win this World Cup. What did I tell you?
They're Indians.
But all our comments are coming from Pakistan. All our comments are coming from Pakistan. Come on, Dav.
You're saying 98% think they won't?
90% think they can't.
They can't. Well,
Okay,
well, they're honest anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an interesting point before we close I wanted to bring up. Bastalida becomes the 7th son to play a World Cup alongside his father. Not alongside him. His father's played some time back.
Yep.
You remember a few of them?
Tim DeLeader?
Yeah, that's his dad.
Right? Yeah.
So this is the 7th father-son duo to have played a World Cup.
Oh, okay.
There's an Australian
World
record out there.
World Cups,
Yeah.
right?
There's an Australian record out there.
Marsh?
Yeah. Both sons. I mean, Mitch Marsh is in the squad. Sean Marsh has played.
Yeah. Who else?
There's Don Pringle and Derek Pringle.
Oh, God, I didn't know that. I know Derek Pringle, I don't know the father.
And the New Zealand pair, Lance and Chris Cairns.
Oh, right, yeah. Chris Cairns and Lance Cairns.
England. You know this one.
I should.
Yeah.
Give me the surname, I'll give you the...
Ah, that's the easy one.
I'll give you the Christian name.
Okay, I'll just say it's someone who's playing the Ashes sometime back.
That narrows it down, doesn't it? Oh, goodness. No.
Father's still involved in cricket.
Oh, Broad.
Yeah.
Chris Broad.
Chris and Stuart Broad.
Stuart Broad, yeah.
Okay, the Kiwis.
You should have said a
Kiwis.
referee.
Kiwis.
Kiwis. Well, we did Lance and
one more.
Chris. And, oh, okay, another one.
Playing this World Cup.
Not Latham.
Yes,
Latham?
Rod Latham, 92.
Okay.
And who was captain yesterday?
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Yes. Dual nationalities. One of the sons of World Cup winner. Sons of World Cup winner. The sons of World Cup winner with England. And dual nationalities. Okay, Kapil Dev. Remember Kapil Dev?
Yeah.
175. Kapil Dev, 83.
Yeah.
Who are you missing out? Kevin Curran. Sam Curran.
Oh, of course. The late Kevin Curran.
The late Kevin Curran, yeah.
Sad.
And Tom as well, right? Tom played the
Tom's
last
brother,
World Cup.
yeah. So,
Tom played the last World Cup.
I don't know.
Oh, right.
Sam, I know, well, Sam's
playing, he played yesterday.
That's right.
Yep. Okay.
No more.
Okay. Quickly, games coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, double header.
Afghanistan, Bangladesh, lots of needle there. They play each other quite a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Who needs the win more? Afghanistan, who never won a World Cup game since they won the first one in 2015, or the Tigers?
You look at the venue. I think the venue may give you a bit of a clue.
The venue is Dharamshala. It's going to do a bit.
Yeah. I think...
And Bangladesh, you think, have got better bowlers?
I think Bangladesh, what I saw, have got the potential to be more consistent. You know, and they can move it. They got a battery of 4 of them.
Mustafizur Rahman's there. Taskin is there.
Shariful. And Hassan Mahmood. He's a good young up and coming.
They've lot of these. It's exactly a transition phase for Bangladesh.
And both their spinners bat, good batsmen.
Mehdi Hassan
and Saqib.
And in fact, Mehdi Hassan's been promoted up the order as well.
He has done, and he's responded with 100.
Yeah. But for Bangladesh, this sort of always been around. They just haven't taken the next step.
They've won, haven't they? Won 3.
They won 3 the last 3 World Cups. Just you need 4, 5. They've come close. There was a time when they almost won a game against India, that Nidahas final. I think Dinesh Karthik hit a 6. They were coming close.
So they need that C word.
Yep.
Consistency.
Which C word? Consistency. Afghanistan, exciting team.
Yeah.
Rashid Khan, superstar, but they're now seeing the likes of Ibrahim Zadran, Rahmanullah Gurbaz, Nabi was always around, Mujib is someone you like. And those, you like those fast bowlers there, Farooqi and...
Farooqi's okay, but I like, you know, their batters. Their batters historically have been struggling a bit, but now they're starting to come good. And Mohammad Nabi,
Nabi, a game changer. In fact, that game against Sri Lanka, when they gave them a scare, he turned it around, 65 of 32 odd. Okay, next game's here in Delhi.
Well, that's the other one.
Are you going?
No, I'll be watching here.
You're not going to leave us.
No.
Sri Lanka versus South Africa.
South Africa, that's another good game.
It's actually two teams, different directions, right?
That's right, and I think the services are totally different to the other one in Mohali.
Yep, and I'm told Vidur, our colleague, was there. He was saying it looks like a slow track.
Well, yeah, that's the difficulty for us, because we don't really know what the surface is like. You have to rely on others and having a look from the television to help us to try and, you know, predict what will happen and what sort of team will play on it.
But on paper, you expect the South Africans to go through?
I do.
You think if it's a slow track, the Sri Lankan spinners come in, Veeralage, Tikshana, and then you have the slinger, Patirana. But the batting's a bit brittle.
On paper, you're right. On paper, I think South Africa a little bit stronger, you know. But the reality is what you play on. On paper doesn't win you the game. What happens on the game on the ground, that's what counts.
But Dav, does it work for South Africa that at the top of their order they have Temba Bavuma, who's a good grafter? He's not someone who's going to be a dasher. That role can be played by Quinton de Kock, but de Kock also knows how to sort of drop anchor. Then you waited Markram as well in that. And then the big hitters come in. Irrespective, I don't think, even if it's turning or it's not turning, if it's slow or not, Klaasen and Miller will go. They have to go at the end. That's the role they have for the team.
Yeah, generally, South Africans over the years have been tough components, you know, tough opponents rather. And even on conditions which they're a little foreign. I remember when I was coaching Sri Lanka, they came over and they didn't see anything like it, but they worked, man. They really worked hard to make it difficult for us to beat them, to get them out twice.
And they're coming in under the radar.
And this time they're coming in differently, at a different. So, you know, on paper, for sure, but let's see how it works out.
First 10 overs.
Yeah.
But just looking at the way two teams have gone, Santner opening the bowling in the first 4 or 5. You had the Netherlands guy in there today. You think Sri Lanka probably start with Veeralage or one in who's not playing, sorry, Tikshana at the top?
If he plays, I think there's every chance he'll bowl in the first 10.
And perhaps then that sets a trend. I think we're probably going to see Deepak Patel, 92.
Yeah, that's right.
Deepak Patel, I think, was one of the first, right, to bowl in that.
Kumar Dharmasena for Sri Lanka as well. We opened with him.
You never got Murli in before the 15th, right?
No, he didn't like brand new one.
Interesting. More such anecdotes. If you like what you hear and you want us to only talk cricketing anecdotes, just write into us. No more with Whatmore. We'll do our links, we'll discuss the game, and then we'll talk trivia. We've got enough trivia today. Murli Dharan, Dharam Sena, Jeff Thompson, who else? Michael Holding.
Yeah. And no more is KNOW.
Yes.
K-N-O-W.
He's fit and fine. It's KNOW. No more with Whatmore. If you want Dav Whatmore to respond to something you're saying, like over the course of this broadcast, very simple. You can watch our broadcast. There's a WhatsApp number. Text on that. Or you can very simple. Get onto one of our social media platforms. On X, on Instagram. And all you need to do is use the hashtag AskDav. Or the other hashtag is WION Cricket. And Dav Whatmore.
And Diggy.
I'll relay it to Dav Whatmore. Or my colleagues Isha Hanspal, Vidur Kathuria or Nikhil Mathur, who you do the morning and afternoon sessions with. They'll ask him the questions. If your question is deemed worthy enough, Dav Whatmore will answer them. On that note, it's time to say goodbye. Dav Whatmore, thank you so much for joining me and breaking this down. Hopefully, we get a contest, Sri Lanka versus South Africa. And also, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that first game, because it's shaping up to be a close contest. You can't sort of call it right now.
Both teams will think they can win it.
Yes. That's it from me and Dav. This is WION World of Cricket. We'll be back tomorrow, 1:30 p.m. India, to discuss the toss and the playing 11s for South Africa and Sri Lanka. Goodbye.